Good afternoon. I'm Reverend Michael Faulkner, and I am so glad that you're all here today to support this very important issue. Although I'm running for mayor, this is not a political statement or a political issue, because other candidates are here as well. We are here unified today as New Yorkers, a gathering of citizens, clergy, and elected officials to say we will not accept the proposed cuts to the budget for New York City Veterans Affairs. We will not accept it because veterans matter. 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 They sure do. My father was a vet. My grandfather was a vet. And it's important for us to understand that in a city like New York, we need to honor them. Before we go any further, I'd like to introduce and ask if James McClellan can come and lead us in our Pledge of Allegiance.
Thank you. Veteran attention! Present arms! I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Order, home!
Thank you, James, for your service. You know, as most of you know, James McClellan was the driving force that brought us all together. When I looked and read and saw the proposed cuts that our mayor was proposing for this budget, I reached out to James because I know he works tirelessly on behalf of veterans. And he was able to pull all of this together by reaching out to all of you. We gather here today on these steps to remind our city government that in a budget of $85 billion, surely $3.6 million, we can do better than that, because veterans matter. It is imperative that we understand, that we make our mayor understand that these proposed cuts do not reflect the values or the priorities of New Yorkers. In this proposed cut, and on this budget issue, the mayor is out of touch. We want to speak loudly. We want to speak proudly. We want to say it over and over and over again. Veterans matter. And on these matters, you know, we as New Yorkers are very proud of our heritage and proud to be supportive of those who have served so long and so hard. There are approximately 250,000 veterans in the New York City metro area. And for all of that, we can do better. We must do better. We will do better than the proposed cuts that our mayor has offered. At this point, that's right. At this point, I'm going to invite one of our veterans who says he's going to speak. Yes.
I'm just upset about veterans. We have a system where the homeless don't get the support they need. Most of them are veterans. The city does things without consideration or understanding of veterans' needs. Give you an example. Why is there no mammogram for women veterans in the Bronx? Okay, there should be one at that hospital. They're working on it. They've been working on it for 5 years. Guess what? That's out of touch. Women veterans need what they need, which is proper health care. And you can't do it with a limited budget for the city to help the women veterans in this state. And I get all the complaints from all the women veterans. I know you can help me. Well, it's not happening. Okay? We deserve more. I got injured in the military and I expected to get the proper health care, expected to get the right things, and I'm sorry it's not happening. Thank you.
Thank you. Veterans matter. Veterans matter. Veterans matter. Veterans matter. Veterans matter. Veterans matter. We're now joined by New York City's public advocate, Tish James, and she is certainly a supporter.
Any attempts to privatize the Veterans Administration should be fought back and should be resisted. Any attempts to cut back on those who made the ultimate sacrifice so that I can speak freely and so that all of us can be free should be fought back with resistance. I stand here today with all of these veterans. All of these veterans. Who served so that this city council is here and so that all of us can stand before you free. And so I will do all in my fiber. I will fight with all in my fiber and in my being and use my voice as public advocate to stand up for all of those who have truly made America great. I thank you. I thank you for all that you are doing. I thank you for making America free, for keeping it free. And again, the Office of Public Advocate is fully behind veterans, which is why the Public Advocate was very forceful when this administration was not prepared to create a new administration simply for veterans. And I stood up to this administration and said, we need an agency for veterans. We now have an agency for veterans in the city of New York, but we clearly need to do more nationally. We need to support veterans because they were there for us. And lastly, because veterans matter, they matter the most. Thank you.
Thank you. Veterans matter. 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 Go! Come on, Joe! Go, Mondo!
My name is Joe Bello, and I helped work with many of the veterans you see behind you to help create the Department of Veteran Services. And the way I look at it is, in December of 2015, this mayor signed the legislation to create that department on the steps of City Hall. They had their first budget starting in July. So here we are, the first budget, they've been hiring personnel, trying to get people to ramp up the services for veterans in the city. And then we come to this next budget, and the preliminary budget has already a disappointing $318,000 cut. Now, the way I look at it as, this mayor has made a lot of mistakes optically over the last 4 years. And he's making one right now, exactly. This is an optic mistake, because you can't go into the second year of a budget and we're already looking at a cut into the veteran services. We've come too far. We certainly want to see better, and we want to see more. Where was the forward thinking by this administration in the preliminary budget to say, maybe, you know, the First Lady has a Thrive NYC. Maybe we're going to create more for the Vets Thrive NYC, for mental health services, or maybe put it into homeless services. So that money could have been used. And I understand that it's a preliminary budget, but it's disappointing, and optically, we're not going to forget. Thank you.
Thank you. They're not my opponents yet, but we're friends. We're all running for the same office, but Bo Diddle and Paul Massey are going to make brief statements.
Hello, my name is Bo Diddle. I've been a lifelong New York City resident, and I have a business for 32 years after retired from the New York City Police Department. I am running for mayor. It's not a political thing, because we have a lot of veterans who are homeless on the street, and I'll be damned if we don't take care of our veterans. This flag is flying here because of these people in back of us. What they've done for us, that's why America is America. And I got something for Mayor de Blasio. You want to know where you can find the money? How about the $12 million of public funds that you're spending to defend yourself? How about the $19 million special advisors? That's $30 million. That's $30 million, Mr. de Blasio. Use that for my veterans. We've got homeless veterans veterans on our street. You don't give a damn. You want to cut the veterans? I'll be damned. If I become mayor, I'll let you cut a cent. We should be increasing the budget and help our veterans because they were there for us. I have a grandchild. My grandchild wouldn't be alive today if it wasn't for them. And the United States of America wouldn't be United States of America without them. Need we never forget our veterans. God bless our veterans and God bless America.
Paul Massey, running for mayor in November. I'm friends with Bo and I'm friends with Michael, so I'm glad they're here. I'm glad you're here to support our veterans. My dad, my uncles, veterans, I'm proud of every single one of you. Bo said it. We've got corruption in the administration, and we're using tens of millions of dollars to protect and to investigate corruption. It's out of hand. That money easily could have gone to our vets. The vets are the first people we should support. It's great that you're all here today. Thank you. Thank you.
We see the problem, and we know the solution. First of all, we need to speak out like we're speaking out now as citizens to make a difference. Because if we go silent, these issues don't come to the forefront. That's why we reached out. That's why we're here. That's why we're going to support vets, because veterans matter. 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 Veterans matter.
Check out the City Councilman Article 313. Correction. What is it? For cutback on vengeance for the veterans.
Absolutely. We can look at all of it. I want to introduce Senator Joe Adabo.
Good afternoon, one and all. I guess my first order of business here, before I go any further, is to say thank you to all those veterans behind me. Each and every day. You understand that Veterans Day is not just one day of the calendar year, it's every day of the year. To say thank you. I also want to thank Commissioner Sutton. The Department of Veteran Services, that to me has done an okay job helping veterans throughout at least the first year of its existence. But in government, how do we say thank you? How do we show our appreciation? We say thank you, but another way we do it, one way of doing it, is funding. That is one way government gets to show its appreciation for veterans, thanking them, and telling them, by way of funding, we understand your needs. We understand, as a government, we need to step across the line, as you have, to help. That's how government does it, by funding. We fund programs for health. We fund programs for housing. We fund programs for counseling, suicide prevention, homelessness. We fund these programs. So when you see a proposal come out of a budget that spends an extra $1 billion from the year prior and cuts veteran services by $300,000, it's not so much the amount, it's the perception of the message that you send to the veterans that they don't matter as much. And it's wrong. It's wrong to send that message. Not only can we restore this $300,000 to this city budget, we can give them millions more. Because that's what they need. That's what they deserve. But we understand the balances of the city expenses as well as we have on the state level. We understand that. And that's why we so cautiously go forward with what we fund and what we cut and the message that it sends. So we have some time here. Certainly the city has until July 1st. We have April 1st. On the state level, we need to do what we can as elected officials, as those who else support our veterans, to have our voices heard, to get these cuts restored, and then add more. Thank you very much.
Veterans matter! Veterans matter! Veterans matter! Veterans matter! Veterans matter! Veterans matter! Veterans matter!
name is Liam McCabe. My father, Willie McCabe, was a 101st Airborne Army veteran. He was a homeless veteran, and he passed away on the streets of Brooklyn over 10 years ago. We've started a foundation to try and raise money for homeless veterans, and sadly, I've learned a lot about the issue after he passed away. The programs they have for homeless veterans are some of the most successful. There's a great one on 43rd Street. It works wonders for some of these gentlemen that come off the street and have nothing and get back on their feet. It is an absolute shame that the mayor is cutting the budget to homeless veterans when it's going up by $1 billion in the city of New York. You see the Canyon of Heroes right here. We used to give our veterans parades, and now they're living in cardboard boxes. It's outrageous. And to quote Senator Schumer, it's mean-spirited. We've got to stand here today and fight the mayor, and I guarantee if we win, we're going to do the right thing for our veterans. Thank you, everybody.
We have won already. We have won already. We have made our voices heard, united, bipartisan, and determined to not allow these cuts to stand. So thank you very much for coming. Thank you very much for listening. We'll take some questions.
Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, veterans, my brothers and sisters. My name is Alexander Paz. I'm a Vietnam veteran, and I have been here in the trenches ever since I came out of the Marine Corps. First as a business person in Bay Ridge, then in private sector. I have worked as an accredited service rep and getting veterans their claims, just like Joe Bello and Helene. I've worked in the housing and homeless area to support them, and presently right now I'm representing myself as the director for the Brooklyn Hispanic Chamber of Commerce for veterans job employment and businesses, as well as establishing more affordable housing and other housing. We helped to start up the Salvation Army's Borden Avenue shelter, one of the very first veteran shelters here in the city. We try to establish other, areas of housing, such as the supportive housing programs, the transitional housing programs, the scatter site housing programs. We want to work closely with our politicians who will help our veterans as they get out. A lot of money is spent by a government to recruit you in and get you trained, but a lot of money is not spent when you're out here looking for that job, looking for that housing, looking for that connection for your claim, looking for veteran organizations to get the support of your brothers and sisters, and to find out who are the politicians that are working with us and who are not working with us. And we want a mayor who's going to be proud of our veterans and support them and stand up for them.
We're going to let them know that. We're going to Joe Kincaid. I got you, man. Thank you. Okay. Joe Kincaid will be our last speaker, and then we'll take questions.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Joseph Cannon. I'm a candidate for City Council in District 23 out in Eastern Queens. It's great to see my fellow veterans here. I'm a veteran of the United States Air Force and of the city's finest police department in the world. And welcome home! All right. We're here for a reason, to support our vets. We see the mayor out in Eastern Queens in every single hotel that we have, putting up homeless people, but disregarding the homeless veterans that are across the city of New York. They need job training. I want to echo what Liam had said as well. Our veterans need care, and they need actually gentle hands to help them. They're going through a very tough time in transition from the battlefield onto the battlefield of New York City. Whether it's PTSD they're dealing with or all other sorts of diseases that they're dealing with, they need help. This mayor needs to help and fund those programs, not to strip them. It's one thing, it's typical of a lot of us is used to seeing in city government. They say thank you with one hand and they take it away with the other. All right? We need this mayor to double down on our veterans now that we have a Department of Veterans here in the city of New York. Thanks. I appreciate it. Let's support our vets.
Thank you.
So we will, because veterans matter.
Veterans matter! Veterans matter! Veterans matter! Veterans matter! Veterans matter!
All right. Thank you very much for coming. We'll take questions. Anyone?
Question back here. Of the 250,000 veterans in New York City,
Yes,
many of us are homeowners.
yes.
Now is not the time to talk, even think about cutting back on veterans' tax exemptions for homeowners.
The entire spectrum of veteran services and support needs to be looked at. This budget proposal to cut is going in the wrong direction. Optically it's wrong, morally it's wrong. We will not stand for it because it's out of touch. We won't stand for it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.